Okay, I want to give you a walk around of my 1964 Galaxie. This is probably the best side right here. I'm the second owner of this car. Bought it from my wife's grandmother. Grandpa worked at the Ford dealership in 1964 and bought this car from Stoddard Ford in Idaho Falls, brand new. He's a mechanic there. So he took really good care of his cars. I picked this one up in 2004, rescued it from an old lean-to that it had been sitting in for about 6 or 8 years. This quarter panel was dented in pretty good, pretty common for these cars with these big long quarters to get dented there. I've worked that out a little bit. I'm not a body guy, but there's plenty of metal there for a body guy to work with to get it straight. But a little bit of surface rust on some of the quarters. This is solid though. It's not rotten through, it's just surface. This Prairie Bronze is a factory paint. This front fender has been repainted at some point in time. I don't know the story on that exactly, but it looks like the fender was actually replaced. The grille is just almost perfect. It's not perfect, but man, it sure is nice. This corner right here, trying to get an angle where you can see the difference in color. That repair was actually made in 1967. I have the original receipt for that. I think it cost like $35 for labor and materials in 1967. I'll bet the paint matched. The rear bumper is rusted through. Really common on these 64s. It's hard to find bumpers for them. There is somebody making reproduction bumpers for them now. I do not know the price on them. There's a little bit of bubbling in the corner of the rear window. Down into here. It's a lead seam there. The rear window's probably leaked over the years. Probably a little bit of rust underneath there. I have looked inside of the trunk and I cannot see where it's all rotted through or anything, so I think it's probably surface rust underneath the factory body filler that's there. Pop the trunk open. In the trunk, spare tire, the factory jack and tire iron is there. This is kind of cool. Found this in the trunk. There was some other junk in the trunk too, but this is an old CO2 fire extinguisher. It actually has some CO2 left in it. You can see the floor in the trunk is really solid. It's like that on both sides. But no rust at all coming through. Solid. A little bit of surface rust. That's good. All the glass in the car is really, really good. Still very clear. Not a lot of scratches. All of the windows go up and down. So I don't know if it's original. The only significant damage is this crack right around the rearview mirror. This car had the optional remote control mirror that still operates. Has the cable controller in the door. Take you inside the interior. See, it's a little bit, got a little tear here from just being squished over the last 50 years of climbing in and out of it. The rear seat, you can see through the back window, starting to come apart on the top. That could be replaced, just that top section, put back together. This is all original interior though, so for 50 years, little bead missing here, but no other tears. Look across the front seat. This one had optional seat belts in the front, so there are 2 seat belts. Somebody actually paid for those. No seat belts in the back. No tears in the seat. The headliner's pretty good shape. Kind of wrinkled up a little bit back in the very back corners. Look at the cab lights even come on with the door. Both doors will turn them on and off when you open and close them. A cool old car to drive. Really a neat experience. This car, I started it a little bit earlier today. So it's not like a cold start, but I haven't run it for about 45 minutes, so see how it starts. That's how it always starts. In the morning, on a cool morning, pump it about 8 times. Maybe it'll crank a couple more times, but it always fires up. The automatic choke works. The exhaust has kind of a nice rumble to it. That exhaust is 2.5 inch sanitary stainless. It's all TIG welded. Give you a look under the hood while the engine's running. I think they called it the Thunderbird 352. Anyways, it's a 352, same block as a 390. 390's little brother. This thing runs great. 4-barrel, 1964. 4-barrel was standard on the 352s. In 63, you could get a 2-barrel, but 64, all 352s came with a 4-barrel. This has got the original 4-barrel on it. Runs great. This motor's never been rebuilt. I think it's the original transmission. I asked Grandma about it, and she didn't think that Grandpa had ever done the transmission, so it does shift very positively. Take you for a ride here. You can see going to reverse, clunks right in, neutral, down to drive. Nice positive engagement. Rumble to it, almost a little bit of a cackle. A guy could go ahead and put mufflers on it. I put some baffles in the exhaust just to knock the had an ear-piercing rumble that I didn't like. It knocked that out of it. It's just ratty enough for me. I think that it gets people's attention and doesn't sound like every other car. See, the speedometer works nice and smooth. Car rides really plush. I think it could use some shocks. Doesn't bounce a ton, but it might ride a little bit stiffer. Steering wheel is slightly crooked when you're driving straight. I'll try to show you that. No weird shimmies or shakes. The only thing when you drive this thing, push the brake and it starts to pull a little bit to the left. It's not bad, as you can see. Once you apply more pressure, it straightens back out. Does need front brakes. I've never done them. I did do all of the rear brakes, drums, wheel cylinders, axle bearings, axle seals. Nice positive shift into second. Next shift into third. Idle's nice and smooth. AM radio works.
When you try removing
there you go.
Those raccoons from the basement, concentrate on the soothing sound of my
I don't know
voice.
if I want to concentrate on the
Release
soothing
the
sound,
memory.
but the radio does work. Tune into
on the field. Sean Phillips also.
and tune into the game. That's about all that's left on the AM radio. Some sports. I think during the week there's some oldies in our hometown, anyways. All works. Fan kicks on. This one comes with a custom auto butler. I don't know where that came from. It's kind of cool. Looks like it's straight out of the Brady Bunch. One of the vents bezel is broken. The vent does open. This is the passenger side vent. That opens and closes. Driver's side vent opens and closes also. Wipers, light switches, all of the, I went through and replaced all the dash light bulbs. They all work. The fuel gauge works. Temp gauge works. Yeah, gen light comes on, oil pressure work. Passenger side wing window rolls out. Window rolls down. Rear quarter window rolls down. Gives you that hard top. Driver's side wing window rolls out. Side window rolls down, and the quarter window works also. The rubber on these windows needs some work, needs to be replaced. That's what she looks like with the windows down, all the posts gone. Okay, here I've got laid out all of the things that I found in the jockey box that are going to be going with the car. This is probably one of the coolest things right here. This is the original window sticker. Lists all the options on the car. This car was purchased new for $3,472.60. There's a sticker price on it. Pretty expensive car for 1964. This is some sort of delivery document that was attached to the window sticker when I pulled it out of the glove box. The original owner's manual. Some kind of cool stuff in there. There's actually some advertisements for high performance parts like 2 4-barrel carburetors and stuff like that. Here's this is a build sheet that I actually found in the jockey box, but I have an idea that somebody was looking at the car before I bought it and pulled this out from under the back seat trying to figure out if it was a 427 car or something. Some receipts over the years. I mean, this one goes back to 1970. These are receipts from Stoddard Ford, the dealership that car was purchased from. Grandpa actually worked there as a mechanic. This is for a service and adjust bands. Transmission service, obviously. $17.65. I think it says drain the torque converter, so they did a good thorough flush back in 1965. This here is straighten a tie rod and adjust toe. Kind of funny, I don't think they straighten tie rods anymore, but it's kind of neat. $11 for an alignment and a tie rod straighten. This is actually an estimate for the repaint that was done on the quarter panel. If you look at that, that's June of 1967. Cost, the estimate was $34. Here is an insurance inspection report showing that the work was in fact done, and then it looks like they wrote a check out for $36.43. What a bargain. Have a pile of registrations here. Idaho fishing regulations for 1965. That's kind of cool, especially if you're from Idaho. Here's a map. This road map is dated 1963 of California. So kind of makes you wonder if they went road tripping right after they bought the new car or what. This is pretty cool. Grand Teton National Park. This is a vehicle permit, 15-day permit. It's dated July 30th, 1964. And then Yellowstone Park, August 8th, 1964. And Yellowstone Park, looks like September 7th, 1964. A lot of history here. The car is really kind of just a time capsule, so I wanted to keep all of this stuff with it. So I've enjoyed it, and whoever ends up with the car might enjoy it also. I'm going to post this video up on YouTube, try to link it to eBay as this car is listed. If you watched this video just to check this old car out, thanks for watching. If you think you're going to bid on it, good luck.